I don't love it. I don't know. I'm not happy with my shots. I didn't even love my first shot.
Over there?
Yeah. We're on our way to another waterfall. Not quite sure if this one's going to be frozen or not. There's quite a bit of snow and ice on the ground, but we're headed towards Ammonite Falls here in Nanaimo, and we had a little bit of difficulty finding the actual trailhead, but once we did, it all seems pretty obvious, and I think we're just heading up a old forest road, so far trail looks pretty obvious, and online looks like it's maybe about a half hour to get to the falls. So I actually don't know too much about this place, but looking forward to shooting another waterfall. Well, so much for going along that Forest Service road. Saw some signs. It was an official marked sign to veer off and head through the forest. And I mean, this certainly looks like a trail, but when we sort of check out Google Maps, we're less sure. So it's marked, it's wide, it's been traveled. Hopefully it still takes us to the falls. The one other thing I managed to forget is microspikes. Trail is definitely pretty icy in sections, and there's a little bit of hills to climb up and down, so a little bit slippery, using some of the branches or roots to just help get through. But even as I'm walking here right now, definitely do not want to fall on my butt and ruin a good day. So hopefully we're not too much further from the falls. We're so close to the falls. The falls are just down there if you can see them, but we still have maybe the hardest part to go. So especially because it's winter and it's icy and none of us have any kind of traction device, no microspikes, no nothing. It's a little bit dangerous, a little bit tricky. So just take this last part, I guess, extra slow, and hopefully we make it down alive and make it back up alive. Well, that was one of the more treacherous hikes to get to a waterfall, but I think it was worth it. It looks absolutely beautiful. Got some ice forming from the top and still got a nice constant stream of the water. So it's sort of a nice little open space. A little bit of brightness from the sun, but maybe hopefully not too much. And such a beautiful place to just be and hopefully photograph. So find some compositions and get ready. So for this second composition, I've got some moss on these rocks here, and it just creates a nice sort of contrast where everything else is quite white and icy, and I've got some dark rocks. So just putting this in my foreground here. And so I've kept my 6-stop filter on, as well as the polarizer, to cut off the glare from all the water coming downstream. Now the biggest sort of thing I have to work with here is I'm getting a lot of spray coming off of this waterfall. So I have to sort of time my shot right and make sure I wipe down my lens right before the shot. Otherwise, I think I'm just going to be stuck with a whole bunch of water droplets in the shot. So I've got it here. Tripod's in an interesting position, and looking for exposing for the waterfall. I'm looking at an exposure of about 13 seconds. And then I am just going to grab a second shot focus stack for the rocks in the foreground here. I'm cold, but hopefully this shot will turn out as well. So down here it's gotten a little bit calmer. I'm downstream, not too far, but I've switched to my telephoto lens and I'm sticking with the vertical composition. Now I'm all the way down to 70 millimeters, which is as low as I can go, and unfortunately I don't think I can move too much further back, both because I won't really be able to get in the middle of the stream, but also because as I get further back, my perspective gets wider and there's some overhanging tree branches that come into the stream, and I think they would just be too much of a distraction. So from around this spot, I'm getting a pretty nice clear view. I'm going to be keeping on my polarizer, and I think I'll use the 6-stop here as well. And then I've just got some rocks in the foreground. From this angle, it's a little bit hard to see the actual pool of water below the waterfall. So it sort of almost looks like these giant waterfalls just falling down right onto these rocks, and the rocks are right there. So just adjust my composition a little bit and let it shoot. We're just heading back to the parking lot now, and I think it was really good timing because it's about to start raining. So hopefully it holds off, or at least maybe doesn't follow us as we're driving out towards Tofino. Otherwise, we'll have to figure out another plan. But either way, I know lunch is very soon. Thinking back to some of those photos that I was taking down at the falls, I'm suddenly feeling like I'm not happy with them. Now, I haven't reviewed them another time, but I just feel like I could have done a better job. And I mean, maybe when I load them on my computer, I'll be happy with them and sort of not feel so down about it. But I feel like that trail really beat me up and fell a few times, banged my knee once, and I just feel maybe a little bit down. My ego's a bit bruised too, so I hope the photos turned out.